Good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. How you doing out there? It's been a busy week around here at the Floral Design Institute. It's been crazy fun, crazy busy, and I have been having an absolute ball. And now today, I get to have fun with you. I hope you have had a good week. You made it halfway, hump day. Now we're headed on to the next weekend. It's summertime. I know some of you are watching us from Las Vegas at the AIFD Symposium. Some of you are watching us from all over the world. Some reminders to make it easy. If you're watching it on the phone, turn the phone sideways. That way you can see bigger. If the comments cover up things, swipe it, and that way it'll make the comments go off to the dark side where it's quiet. It's called silent mode, and you can just see the picture. Or go ahead and just watch it vertically, and then the comments will be on the bottom. So you have choices to do that. If you're on an iPad or a computer, you can go full screen, get it all a little bit bigger, which is fun, because we have so many grand things planned for you today. Get to show you what Barbie's been doing this week. Maybe you got to see Barbie on Monday morning. Monday morning, Barbie had a lesson that we sent out in the email on how to make a tiny bouquet. And we kicked off the Tiny Bouquet Challenge. And so many of you have already started sending me pictures and posting them on social media, letting me see what you created with a tiny bouquet. It was really amazing. One of our Tulip Tribers actually did Barbie with a bridal bouquet, a crown, and a gazebo built around it for a wedding. It was so beautiful. That's taking the Tiny Bouquet Challenge to a whole new level. But Barbie's been busy. I know it's been fun for me. Barbie's been my friend for several years now. Many of you may know that this was the Flower Shop Barbie. Although Flower Shop Barbie was never told that stilettos are not necessarily a good thing. But other than the shoes, well, maybe the really short skirt, but she's kind of cute. And I love the fact that Flower Shop Barbie came with a tulip. How appropriate. So she was part of the Tulip Tribe from the very beginning. A big shout out and a thank you to Jackie, because she's the one that found Flower Shop Barbie for me years ago when I couldn't find one in Portland, Oregon. So I put a call out to the tribe. I said, anybody, can you find me a Flower Shop Barbie? I want one. I'm not a Barbie girl, but I gotta have a Flower Shop Barbie. And Jackie found one and sent it to me. It was kind of cool because she came with her tulips, came with a little vase. How fun is that? And then came with a clipper. She didn't know that it's wiser to use a knife and faster and more efficient. She didn't understand that, but now, this week, Barbie's in flower school. So she's gonna learn how to use a knife, and she's going to learn how to make even cooler bouquets. Now, if you didn't get the Tiny Bouquet video, you can find it on our YouTube channel. You can find it on our website. It's both places. It's our featured video of the week. And I'm going to do a little one right now just to get started, because I thought it'd be kind of fun to make a tiny bouquet. We'll let Barbie, let's put Barbie right back here. Does Barbie show up? I set her back there, David?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So we've got the team here, but we have a smaller team than normal. So you all have to help me out as well, because some of us are still in Las Vegas at Symposium. So in the studio, we have David working technology. Marianne's helping him, making sure the camera stays on. Carolyn's here watching your comments, and Carolyn's working both YouTube and Facebook, trying to keep up with all of it. And then I get to just be here and play with flowers. How cool is that? Then we've got Caledonia. She's online. Susie's online. But Marisa, she's over at the classroom, because we had a class that started on Monday. And so she's with the students. So if you've got questions, type them in. But if it doesn't get answered right away, type it again just to make sure, because with all of us trying to watch all the feeds, we might miss something. But let's start by finding out who you are. Real quickly, if you'll take a moment and type in where you're from, add your tulip if you're part of the tribe, and say hello to each other. Get together, get connected. And I'm going to throw out there that I have 2 students in class right now that are not watching because they're in class. They'll watch it later. But one is from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and is looking for people in the tribe in that area. So if you're close to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, do a shout out. Say, hey, it's me, because she'll be watching the feed later tonight when she gets home and she'll see you. And the other one is in Kelowna, British Columbia. So north of Vancouver, Kelowna, in their wine country. She too is looking for people in the tribe. So make sure, put your name out there and where you're from so that we start connecting everyone. Because that's what makes it pretty special. Now in the tiny bouquet, the biggest challenge is finding tiny flowers. And hydrangeas are so popular, but certainly not tiny. But if you hunt through your stems, sometimes you can find a cluster that has smaller blooms, like this one. And that can become the base of your tiny bouquet, because it's got little tiny blooms on there. If you've made a tiny bouquet, post it on social media and tag Floral Design Institute. That way we can all see. It's such a fun project to do. And then I've got some Nigeria pods, just little tiny ones. Look at that. And I get things out and set it here. I picked up a green trick dianthus because I love that as a bed, a base for the flowers. And it looks like little bits of moss. So I thought that would be kind of pretty. Don't need so much of a stem. Let's get rid of some of that. And then some Eryngium. I love that name. Eryngium. It's like linoleum and aluminum. You know, those words that are just kind of cool to say. They roll off your tongue kind of weird. But this Eryngium, I tinted lavender because I didn't want it to be as gray as it was. It was a very, very dusty gray. It wasn't even real blue. And I wanted it to be a little bit brighter for my tiny bouquet. So I dusted it with some Design Master. And then I just cut down some of the smaller bits and grab that. While I'm preparing this, David, Carolyn, is anything going on out there?
Well, we have some graduates with us. We have Lori Schultes and Robert Kading. Well, I think he's in advanced now. He's not quite a graduate yet. Marmac and Therese Kesselfors from Sweden, who just begun her studies this week.
Cool.
And we have Heather DeLong.
Wonderful. You know, it's so fun to hear these names and know you're here with us. As we celebrate the tribe, I want to just point out a couple of things. Marmac just started a brand new website. And Marmac, if you can, go ahead and just put your website in the feed. Let people look at that because that's pretty exciting. That's something to be super proud of. So Marmac has a brand new website. Heather, I am just so proud of Heather. Heather is a certified floral designer, FDI certified, and she has become incredibly active with the American Institute of Floral Designers. She helped them when they did a garden show booth, and she's been just so involved. Jumped right in with both feet. And I know she is thinking about testing in Chicago this year, and well, it'll be next year in 2020. And I know I plan to be in Chicago to say, go girl, go. So proud of you. I'll have to host a Tulip Tribe party there as well, because that's what we do. We celebrate our graduates. Now, Therese from Sweden, she's just getting started, but she's part of the tribe. Pretty grand. Robert has been wonderful. He won one of our prizes on one of the last lives. David, what else have you got going on?
Well, someone wants to know, what do I have to do to be part of the Tulip Tribe?
The Tulip Tribe, good question. The Tulip Tribe are the people that support the Floral Design Institute and each other. They become part of the tribe by being a positive influence for the good. If you join our Flower Lovers Club, you're automatically in the tribe. And the benefit of the Flower Lovers Club, and the reason I am so thankful for the Flower Lovers Club, is that these are the people that support education. and support the Floral Design Institute so we can provide free education. And the club, in fact, Caledonia and Susie, if you guys could put the link in there, that would be great. The club gives you 5 educational libraries that are private, that are not open to the public, that are really focused on education. It gives you access to that, plus it gives you 20% off on shopping, plus it joins you to the tribe and supports your fellow tribe members. So if you can join us in the club, that's great. Also, graduates of the program, anybody who has taken our online classes or our classroom classes, automatically in the club, because we want you. And you're part of the club forever. You don't lose your club membership. Once you're in, you're there. It's not something that disappears, because we want to support you through your whole career. So now I've got my little pieces here. So I'm going to go ahead and start the bouquet by putting the biggest in first, which is the hydrangea. And I'm just going to weave into the green trick dianthus and then pull it down. See how it just creates a little bed in there? Okay. Now as I'm working on this, the next stop that Barbie made, so Barbie was on the feed on Monday. She made her bouquet. So she was busy with us making her bouquet, learning how to do the tiny bouquet challenge. Then Barbie went to Las Vegas to join the Floral Design Institute team as we were at Symposium with the American Institute of Floral Designers. And we had a booth at the Partners Fair. Michelle and Shell are still there. David, do you have a picture of the Partners booth there? Michelle and Shell? We didn't get Barbie in the picture. Barbie was taking the picture, I guess. I don't know, but Barbie didn't get in there. Okay, cool. So there you can see, this was Sunday morning. I guess it was at about, we were in there about noon, so it was almost afternoon. And we had those beautiful flowers you can sort of see in the background, thanks to Greenpoint Nursery and thanks to Florabundance, because they provided the tropicals and the garden roses and the fabulous things. It was just so grand. Then teacher Michelle made the design. Those of you that have taken classes, you'll recognize those faces, teacher Michelle and teacher Shell. And then all through, we just met with everybody. Why don't you bring it back to me so they can see the bouquet? Cool. So then we were able to stay at the trade fair for, 4 or 5 hours and meet the tribe. We did so many pictures, so much fun time just visiting, getting to see people, getting to have a good time. Barbie loved it. It was actually about her 3rd or 4th symposium. She's gone to lots of symposiums. She loves to get together with the Tulip Tribe. And Lindy brought her Barbie. I know she has a twin sister. And so Lindy's Barbie was there and they hung out for a while. Ken was missing in action this time. Sometimes Ken comes, but this time Ken didn't make it. So it was just the Barbie duo. And you can see I just got the little thing started there. Then after the Partners Trade Fair, then we had a get together with the tribe. And that was a lot of fun. So I'm adding just little bits of plumosa. See how I took down the ends so that it's just the stem to make it look like it's a fern plant, and then sticking that in there. So David, if you could bring up the picture of the tribe at the Tulip Tribe reception.
It's up.
Okay. Now that's only part of us. We ended up with, maybe 50 people there, but people were coming and going because there was so much going on. But it was so much fun to gather with the tribe, because many of the people that you're looking at that picture are in our online classes. So I'd met them in the virtual world, but I'd never met them in the real world. And so we had such a wonderful, wonderful time. It was just a beautiful evening to get together, toast champagne, because we were celebrating the inductees this year. So go ahead and bring it back to me. I'm going to tie this bouquet off so they can see that. Okay. So I've got my little bouquet, and then just a little bit of bind wire, giving it a cut. Now, if you want to see more, go to the website, flowerschool.com, and there's another tiny bouquet how-to, so you can see it edited there. David, what you got?
The link is already in there.
Oh, cool, good. Thank you guys for getting the link in there. So you can go in and you can see the tiny bouquet video and see the whole thing without the live. But isn't that fun? And then I challenge you to make a tiny bouquet. And then when you post it on social media, hashtag tiny bouquet, and then hashtag Floral Design Institute. And that way it goes in the feed so that everybody can see the challenge. And to give you again a bit of the perspective of the size, let's bring Barbie out to model. We'll take her tulip out of her hand. I stuck it on with a U-glue dash because I didn't want it to fall out. Maybe I'll do this with a U-glue dash. There we go. Barbie with her bouquet. How cool is that? Isn't that grand fun? It just makes me so happy. I have to do a shout out to Lee. Lee Romanowski was the first one that I saw that did a Barbie with the tiny bouquet. And then Lindy was like, oh, I have to do that. And it's like, I have to do that. And it was so much fun. So Lee, thank you for the inspiration, because if it wasn't for you, I might not have remembered that I have a Barbie to get out for my tiny bouquet. So that's just too fun. So go to the website, check it out, but not right now. Hang out with us right now because we've got some more things to do. Before I make another bouquet, David, let's bring up our inductee picture because that's pretty much fun.
And they're up.
Okay. We had 7 people that were inducted this year. Only 4 were able to make it to the party early because induction was last night and the party was on Sunday. So not everyone could be there Sunday. But this is where we were recognizing our tribe that were being inducted into the Floral Design or American Institute of Floral Designers. And I'm so proud of them. You can see Alana there. Alana made my shirt for me. Thank you, Alana. You can see Kate, you can see Allison, and you can see Andrea. All 4 of them were able to come to the party and we were able to celebrate them as they're inducted into the American Institute of Floral Designers. It's such a big deal. I am so proud of them. Go ahead and bring it back, David. Yes.
Well, you showed off your shirt while the other picture was up, so you're going
Oh,
to
I've got to
show
do that. I forget that it's not on me because I can't see it. So this is the shirt that Alana gave me. She made it with Do Something You Love. And today we're celebrating all of you in the tribe that are doing something you love. How grand is that? And if you're not in the tribe yet, join the Flower Lovers Club, then you'll be in the tribe. Join us for classes. If you're on any of the classes, online or in the classroom, you're part of the tribe. Shout out again to the inductees. So proud of you. So, so proud of you. It's pretty exciting. The inductees, it's hard. There's tests. Now, you can start and get your CFD through us. So when you go through our basic course and our advanced course, then you qualify for CFD with the American Institute of Floral Designers. All you have to do is take their test, which is an open book test with their book, and we have a 100% success rate. So every single student of ours that have tested for that have passed. So you end up with dual certification. You are FDI, Certified Floral Designer, and you can use FDI after your name. And then the American Institute of Floral Designers, CFD, which is an international designation. So it would be Leanne Kessler, FDI, CFD. How cool. Then if you go on, then you can go ahead to the Professional Floral Design Evaluation and take their in-person test. And that's where it gets a little harder. So the people that I showed you in that picture with the inductees, they all took the test this year. And I wanted to share with you a little bit of what they did because it's hard. It's a big deal. So what I did is I got a list of what they did this year. When they do the test, excuse me, when they do the test, they make 5 arrangements in 4 hours. And it's a surprise package on all of it. So they don't know what materials they're going to have, and they don't know what they're going to have to make. This year, they had to make 5 things. They did a creative bridal bouquet using an armature structure. So a bridal bouquet with an armature. A half-opened casket spray. So they did a small casket spray for a half-open casket, which had to feature product groupings. Then the arrangement was a formal linear design style featuring asymmetrical balance. And then the flowers to wear was a cuff style wristlet. Then there was a duplication that they had to copy a photo, which was a linear design. Materials wise, I saved out some things that they had so that you could see. They all had the Midnight Foam from Oasis. So they didn't have any green foam, they only had the Midnight Foam. which makes it flexible in that depending on if you wanted to use it for the artistic quality, you could leave it to show, or you could just conceal it and use it like foam. So if you had a tall container, there we go. So I have my container. You can see the black foam is in there. It's easier to hide than the green foam, which that's kind of a plus for the people. So if they were doing a large, well, it didn't say large, if they were doing a linear design with asymmetrical style, they might have started with a tall container, filled it with black foam, and then flower-wise, the colors were all yellow and green this year. David, what you got?
Do me a favor and set that vase on a towel. It's making a lot of noise.
Is it making noise? Okay, let's try this. We don't want noise from a vase. Thank you for catching that. How's that?
Perfect.
Okay, and then I'll try not to hit it with my bracelet and my ring and everything else, but oh, the noise. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to hurt your ears, but so we've got the vase, got the foam. Flower-wise, they had yellow roses. They had green trick carnations. They have bells of Ireland. They had so many things to choose from. There was green orchids and lots and lots and lots of different foliages. I didn't grab all their things. I just grabbed a few things so that we could talk about it. Everybody has the same flowers, and then they have to go and start creating. So when you're dealing with things, you might think about what you're wanting first, asymmetrical, and start there. David, Carolyn, what's going on while I get this going?
Well, you've got one burning question that's come from several people that only you can answer. The necklace that you
Yes.
showed, where did you get the necklace?
The necklace that
The necklace that you had in the trade fair.
the necklace in the tree. Oh, my necklace. Oh, yes, my necklace. Well, that's my secret. No, it was beautifully
Bring the
made.
necklace up right now.
Okay. Does it show? Okay.
Yep.
It has 3 wire flowers. And if you look really closely, it's just wire work done almost like a lotus flower. And there are 3 of them on a white chain then. And that necklace was actually a gift from Elizabeth Hemphill, one of our graduates who now lives in Louisville, Kentucky. She was a graduate of ours from San Francisco, and then she moved to Louisville and does really fabulous weddings and such.
Lexington.
Lexington? Oh, wrong city. David corrected me. Thank you. So Elizabeth is in Lexington, but that was a necklace that she gave me, and I love it because it's cool wire work. Plus, the way that those flowers are, sometimes I'll go through and I'll glue blooms into that and then just pull it back off later. So it's a great armature to work with. So how cool is that? Very much fun. So I've got my vase, I've got some things. The assignment was a linear design with the asymmetrical style. Now they had line flowers, bells of Ireland and such. I didn't put any line flowers out here. But when you're working in the asymmetrical style linear, you just start thinking, how do I do this? And the first thing you want to do is start making the form, thinking about all your elements and principles. So it's just like what you learned while you were in flower school. You want to have a form, a space, texture, line, color. You have to have all of that. Now, color is predetermined for you because they gave you yellow and green flowers. That's what they gave. You then need to determine your scale. How tall do you go? And then when you're thinking asymmetrical, you really don't want to be in the center because it needs to have an off-center binding point. So thinking about little things that you learned in school, which is why our students do so well in testing, because it's what we teach you from the very first day. How do you make sure that your binding point is correct? How do you make sure that your scale is correct? All the elements and principles. Got too many leaves here, so I'm taking some off. Then coming down to your focal emphasis area, making sure that that's nice and strong. And maybe even repeating that with another flower. So as they were doing their designs, all they had to do this year was think back to, what did I learn in flower school? So I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, that next year, as the tribe gets inducted, we have another half dozen, however many tested, that they all pass. Now, I'm not asymmetrical yet. Right now, I just have a line that I've begun. Now I start thinking about asymmetrical and contemporary techniques. Maybe I want to do a terracing out one side. You know what? I'm going to put it on the opposite side. I'm going to put it over here. One fascia leaf, and then a second, terraced. And by using contemporary basing techniques, it will score better. So I've got my leaves tucked in there. Now it's still not asymmetrical. I'm starting to be, but not real well. So then I come back and maybe use an aspidistra leaf. But this one's a little large. So splitting it down, thinking about the scale of your materials and bringing it out. Now I'm starting to be asymmetrical. You can see how I have my vertical line, and then I've got a movement of line coming this way. Maybe bring in another leaf. Now think about the fact that these people are making these arrangements as a surprise package. They didn't know it was going to be yellow and green. They didn't know they were going to have to do an asymmetrical arrangement. So if you had never taken flower school and you didn't know, okay, what do they mean by asymmetrical and what do they mean by line design, you'd have a hard time passing. But since this is what we teach you, both online and in the classroom, then you know these things, and it makes it easy. So I'm going to turn this and look at it, make sure I've got it going straight. David, if you would bring up the July class, that would be kind of fun for them to see. And
The July class is up.
okay, so these are the newest members of our tribe. They started school on Monday morning, and they are doing just amazing. So for just a few days in class, and they've already learned the elements and principles. They're working on pricing skills at the moment. And you can see it's a great group. They're from all over. It's been so fun to get to have them in class. And our next opportunity to join us in the classroom isn't until September because we don't have class in August. So Carolyn, David, what else is going on out there?
I have a great question from Lori Schultes. She's wanting to know where AIFD is going to be next year.
Lori, next year it's in Chicago, so I think it's closer to you next year. I think you're more in the Midwest, if I remember correctly. I may be wrong there. Do you remember where Lori's from? No? Okay, Lori, you're just going to have to tell us where you're from because we forgot. But I think it's closer to you next year, so it's in Chicago. Right across from Grant Park. I think it's a Marriott hotel. Nope.
Hilton.
A Hilton hotel right across the street from Grant Park, just up from the lake. It's beautiful, a lovely, lovely setting. So it's in Chicago next year, and we'll all be there to celebrate the tribe. Then the following year, it goes to Washington, D.C., where it's at the Marriott Boardman Park, which is over by the zoo in Washington, D.C., and it's a convenient location because it's right on the metro line. I think that's what they call the train, is the metro. So it makes it very, very easy to get there if you're trying to do it without having a huge cab fare or something. Are we back to me now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So you can see I straightened it up a little bit, and what I did is I pulled off some of the leaves because it just seems sort of heavy. Now, if you are already a member of the Flower Lovers Club, if you go to the style library, it has several different designs that give you the exact styles, which if you're choosing to go forward with AIFD, or if you even want to go further to the Certified Judge Evaluator, you need to learn all the style terminology. We had five of our graduates testing for the Certified Evaluator Judge this year. And that was one of the questions, is identify the style of this design. And our graduates all got it right because they had taken flower school and they knew it was an asymmetrical formal linear. So they were able to just write that right in there and get it correct, which was pretty exciting. Very, very, very exciting. So if you haven't figured it out yet, you need to go to flower school and make sure and you learn these things so that you get it correctly. So, turning this in. Yes, David?
Do you have to be AIFD to go to a symposium?
No, you do not. The tribe is there, and you're not a symposium, or you're not a member oftentimes, but you are welcome to be there. Now, the next opportunity for the tribe to get together, I'm turning this, you can see how I've tucked in the green trick back there, and then I'm going to carry it forward. Okay. So the next opportunity for the tribe to get together, we don't want to wait an entire year. That's too long. So we'll be having an amazing opportunity for the tribe to get together. We'll have meals together, we'll have receptions, we've got so much fun planned. And that's the creative retreat that's coming up September 8 to 11. And many of the people that were at Symposium in Vegas are going to be at the retreat, which is right here in Oregon at the Oregon Garden Resort. It's a beautiful, amazing garden, and it's going to be so much fun. We've got great designers coming in. We've got 6 VIP designers, and then we have the 6 FDI certified instructors, then David and I, and then we've got some people coming in to help be facilitators so that we can make sure that you, as the tribe attending the retreat, have the best possible opportunity. We've got people flying in from all over the world to do this, so it's going to be grand fun. So that'll be our next chance to do that. I'm going to go ahead and add another rose in here, because one of the problems that I have here is balance. And if you were testing, you would be counted down, because notice how everything's in the front. I'll turn it kind of sideways. So it's all here and there's nothing to pull your eye to the back. The balance is off. So I need a yellow rose back here to pull your eye backwards through the design, creating depth and movement. There we go. Now, it's kind of fun. When I came home on Monday, because school started Monday, so I wanted to come meet my students, the symposium was still going strong. The induction was last night, and I've been watching on Facebook to see all of the grand pictures. And I'll be posting more and more pictures on our feed. So as you are going through the rest of the week, just kind of go back to the Floral Design Institute Facebook page and scroll down. I know I posted this morning some pictures that teacher Michelle sent me that showed beautiful place settings. And then another piece that was done sympathy style, showing the gates ajar done in a contemporary manner. And she's there taking pictures of things that we can post then so that you can see what types of things happen at Symposium, what kind of flowers are done, how they do that. Now, as you are thinking about it, go back to flower school again. It's all the elements and principles. That's really all it's about. Carolyn, what else is happening out there?
I just got a great messenger question. One of our students or one of our watchers is wanting to bring a friend to the retreat, but doesn't have anybody to come with her.
You know what? Carolyn is looking for a friend. And then there was another one that just posted. Wendy Waterhouse is looking for a friend. So I know we have 2 that are looking for friends. So if you have not connected yet, Carolyn, I think it's Surwa, and Wendy Waterhouse, the 2 of you can be friends. And then if there's another friend out there, anybody else, because the bring a friend is the least expensive way to do it. You get a huge discount registering together. Then if you want to share a room, that saves money too, because it's the same price, whether it's single or double occupancy. So I know I have 2 friends that are already trying to connect. And if that second person or third person, whoever's on that messenger, pay attention and let us know, and we'll try to find another. And if you are looking for someone to do that bring a friend discount, put it in the feed, put it out there and let people know, because yes, and I believe it's Clarina is looking for a friend as well, although she thought she had a friend that she was going to be coming with, but she just hadn't connected yet. So yes, there are bring a friend opportunities if you want to make a new friend with the tribe. So now I wanted to stop on this one for a second and talk a little bit again about the testing, because I know many of you are going to be testing next year, or maybe thinking about it. I was talking to the class today, I guess I was talking to them yesterday, and several of them wanted to be able to do the CFD with us, get their testing done, and then go back and join us in Chicago and do testing there, or in Washington, D.C. When you're doing testing, what they're looking at is your elements and principles, plus they want to see creative flair. They want to see something a little bit unique. So although this has line and spacing and texture and basing and terracing and some manipulation by making the leaves smaller, it doesn't really have creative flair yet. So you would have to go one step further. And by adding creative flair, I could add some petaled pieces, which I did these ahead of time. Those of you that have taken class already know how to do petaling. I didn't want to take time now to show you. So if you've taken class, you've seen petaling. It's part of the advanced program, both online and in the classroom. So I did a petaling piece, 2 of them, because by doing 2, I will have repetition. Repetition enhances rhythm. So all of the principles come into play. So I can bring this in, creating dynamic line to enhance my static line. I'm going to put a wood pick on here, because right now I have only static lines, and I want to add some dynamic line just to make it so much better. Get that all wrapped around there. There we go. Then I can bring this in, finding the perfect spot. I think it's going to come right here. I hope that's the perfect spot. I'll turn it around when we're done, and I might change it a little bit. Get it poked in there well, because I don't want it to flip out. There we go. Okay, and bring it up and over. Okay. Then the next one I want to be a little bigger, so I'm going to get some larger picks. I was using a 2-inch pick on that one. I want a 4-inch pick so I can go longer.
So we've got several things happening. One is people are just fascinated with the technology. They're watching you today, and they saw you yesterday as well in Las Vegas.
It is kind of amazing when you think about it, because you get to be all over the place, and technology makes it so that you can be part of things no matter what. Even though I wasn't at induction last night, I felt like I was there with my tribe. It was so wonderful. And then getting together with everybody at the Partners Trade Fair was so fun, but I was still connected at home because David wasn't able to come with me this year, so he was here, and so I was still connected with him because we were doing FaceTime on the telephone. Don't do that very much because we're usually together, but it was kind of funny. It was like, oh my gosh, I can talk to you and see you, and that was so cool. FaceTiming. I gave him a tour of the suite that we used for the Tulip Tribe reception, and it was fun, so he got to be part of it. He could see out the window and see the gorgeous view we had of the Eiffel Tower outside the Paris Hotel, and then the swimming pool and such, and it was just amazing, the technology. So yes, it is fun to see you in both places. I don't know if Abel's online with us. I met Abel, who is one of our tribe members, who I had never met. He has always been part of our Facebook Live and commented, and he had then messengered me saying, I'd love to meet you. And I thought, oh, I want to meet you too. And we were able to get together there in the real world after being virtual friends for so long. I'm going to turn this so that I can look at it and get this in the right spot. What other questions and such do we have going on?
Yeah, we have another really great question. Do we offer classes for those wanting to test for AIFD next year?
We do, because that is a very specific skill that's more than what we teach in a regular class. So yes, we do, and it's called Designing for Competition and Evaluation. We teach it in May. We don't have the exact dates, but I'll get those for you, but it's in May. It's after Mother's Day and before Memorial Day. It's a 3-day class that's focused just on preparing you for testing, teaching you techniques for adding creative flair. As you can see, just adding these two, the whole arrangement starts looking pretty darn cool and artistic as opposed to just a static design. David, Carolyn?
I want people to be able to see that arrangement, so move it over to your left just a little bit, and then remove those yellow, well, now it's okay. Now people can see it. The yellow roses were distracting, but now
Were they? But now they're not so bad?
now it's good.
I'm not going to finish it off right now because I want to do some other things with you, but it would be fun to add some sticks or something coming up the back, something else just to finish it out because it's a little bare up here. But I've got some terracing going on. And I don't like the way my leaves are just hanging here, so I'll show you a technique. This is something we teach in flower school. If you take an 18 gauge wire, and I taped it with corsage tape already. I don't know, this is left over from something, I don't know what. And I just bend it into a U. So you can see how it's just a U shape. And then I can take this and place it underneath the leaf and into the foam. And it then supports it so it doesn't look so droopy. How cool is that? Looks okay from the front. So it kind of comes down in the front so you don't see the wire, and it comes up so you get some dimension there, and then it comes back down in the back so you don't see the wire. And you don't see my mechanics back here. Everything just starts kind of fitting together. Another thing I could do if I wanted to add a little more creative flair, like they talk about, is to think about leaf manipulation. So again, things that we teach in the advanced class, where you might pull it down and then roll it. And then you could either staple it or glue it, whichever. I'm not going to tell you all the tricks because those of you in the advanced class know the one more thing to do about the staple, but I'm not going to tell you guys that on live. That's my secret. But then I could bring back a little bit of a loop here, kind of filling in. I'm going to turn it so I put it in the right spot. I don't want it to look silly. There we go. Oh, I came unstapled. Let me restaple that for you. There we go. That works. Now it adds a little bit of a ribbon effect back there. Kind of fun. You could take the leftover pieces and loop them, getting even more ribbon. So it just goes together. Wire that so it stays put. Then if you're testing, or if you're in flower school, you know your teacher would get mad at you if you left all that wire showing. They would say, no, 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 no. We don't do that. That's wrong. Got to cover up your mechanics, hide the magic, keep it all hidden. So you'd have to tape that off so that you don't leave that bare wire showing. And then once you've got it taped off, you can add that down into the back to bring that fluffiness on around. Turn it so you can see. So again, a little bit of creative flair added to the design. It's those things that you need to do to make your arrangements just a little more special. Now, some of this is also in the Flower Lovers Club. If you go to the technique library, there's 5 styles, techniques, art, trends, and the elements and principles. Okay? So if you go to the technique library, it's filled with tutorials on techniques that you could use to add that creative flair to your arrangements. How to use new products that are coming out. We're adding new videos to that frequently so you can kind of go back. There's hundreds in there though, and they're open just to the club members. So if you want to join that, it's an easy thing to do. Now, right now, before I make my last arrangement here, want to think about what's going on back in Vegas. And David, if you have the picture of the team, the Eric and Frank not all fancy pants, the not dressy one, got it
It's
there?
up.
Okay. I'm so proud of this group of people. It is headed by Eric Whitcraft, one of our graduates, Frank Blanchard, a graduate of the school before I bought it, so he too is a graduate. And then they're working with many of our graduates, just to name a few. Shemay is there, Annie is there, Corey is there, Shell is there, teacher Shell, and they're all working on the flowers for the final night, which that is such a cool thing, and it's such a big deal. Oh my gosh, the final night, go ahead and bring it back to me, David. Okay, the final night is the grand gala. It's a black tie affair. Everybody gets all dressed up, and we have tons of flowers. We put flowers on our hair, flowers around our necks. You'll have boutonnieres that will start here and go clear down the back and down the front. Oh my gosh. If you look at hashtag proud to be AIFD, check that out after the grand gala. So later this week, you'll see all the flowers that people are wearing, and it's amazing. But I am so excited and so proud because Eric and Frank are leading the team that are doing the flowers for that gala. They have hundreds and thousands of stems, making huge arrangements. The centerpieces are in urns that are huge. I mean, they're like 4 foot tall. They're enormous. And then that's just the base of the centerpiece. And the flowers are so many. You saw those buckets. That was just a small portion. When I went down to the workroom and saw them, the buckets stretched forever. There were just flowers and flowers and flowers and flowers. And the team, there's probably a dozen of them, have been working for a week to get ready for this. And I can't wait to see the end result. Once I see it, we'll post it on the page so that you can see it because we're so excited. David, will you put up the one with Eric and Frank on the induction night? That's where they were dressed up with the Awaken sign. Okay. So this is Eric and Frank. They are the team leaders, graduates of the school, creating the whole plan for the grand gala. So shout out to them. I'm so proud of them. This was the induction night. There they have a dinner and they were getting ready to go to that. So go ahead and bring it back here, Mr. Kessler. Got it? Okay. Request to you, all of you, if you'll take a moment and tag a friend and share this video. Let's spread it out so that more people can see, more people can learn about how to get ready to become AIFD certified. And then if you're thinking about flower school, now's the perfect time because flowers are in season, they're abundant, there's so many things to choose from. It's the least expensive time of year to do it because oftentimes you can even gather flowers out of your garden. And becoming part of the tribe, get your certification, get your training, and be out there working before the busy holiday season. It's pretty much fun. So share this video, tag a friend, spread the word. I'm going to put the linear design back over here for a second with Barbie, so they'll hang out together. And I wanted to back up to the bridal bouquet that the candidates this year had to make. This year, the bridal bouquet was something on a supportive armature. And that was the thing that I found was kind of interesting. Let me read it to you directly as it says. Creative bridal bouquet using an armature structure, not supportive, I had that wrong. Creative bridal bouquet using an armature structure. Now, creative, I showed you how you could add creativity with a dynamic line and some petaling. An armature structure could be as simple as floral netting. You've seen us make the structures to build a bouquet, okay? That's an armature. Is it creative? No. It's mechanical. So would that get counted down? Possibly. Kind of interesting. And when I look at all the people's designs from the PFDE this year, there were so many really interesting armatures. Now this is one that teacher Michelle did for me long ago that you've probably seen before. But this would be a creative armature because it is an armature that then flowers would go into. But maybe they didn't give you enough aluminum wire. I don't know. That would be interesting. This would be a creative armature, but you probably wouldn't have enough time to make something like this. So that's the next challenge as you're getting ready for testing, is to think about what do the words that they tell you to create really truly mean, and all of those meanings are in the book, and we go through those meanings in class as well, so that you do get that knowledge. And you do learn how to make an armature while you're at flower school. We do that. We make armatures in class. You learn it in basic, you learn it in advanced. But how long does it take you to make the armature? Does something simple like floral netting count as a creative bridal bouquet with an armature? The word structure makes me think this wouldn't qualify, that it would be something like this that they're looking for. But these are things you all have to start thinking about. So that's something in class that we talk about a lot, is if we say asymmetrical, we mean asymmetrical. We don't mean make it symmetrical and then go, oh, well, I didn't understand. It doesn't work. It's kind of tricky. I wanted to show you these roses, and I'll use these for my last arrangement. This is a new variety to me. It's not new, but it's newer to me. And it's called Tresd, Tresd. Tresd. Not the greatest name, do you think? I was like, if I just saw that Tresd, I probably wouldn't buy it. But looking at it, doesn't that look cool? It's a great color. Huge head, nice petal count. David, Carolyn, anything going on while I get things set up here?
Well, Teacher Michelle is watching you right now.
Teacher Michelle, you're supposed to be out taking pictures that we all can see. Why are you watching us? Oh my gosh. Teacher Michelle, you're taking pictures. I promised them that you had pictures that were going to go up on our feed. Oh my goodness. Oh. But no, thanks for being here, Teacher Michelle. And I've only posted a couple of the pictures you've sent me already. I'll get some more up in a little bit. And they're just grand to get to see behind the scenes and to be able to show everything. Before Teacher Michelle ends up going to take more pictures, put the July class back up there so that she can see, because she'll get to come see them.
It's up.
Okay, so Teacher Michelle, this is the group that you're coming back to next week. They are so grand. They are just a delight and having so much fun as they do something they love and learn to be fabulous floral designers. We've got people from all over in this class. There's one from China, one from Canada, and some from all over the United States, some from local Portland here, but we've got people from all over the world in this class, so that's kind of fun. So, Carolyn, what's going on in your world?
Question from Abel, who you met at AIFD. He's wondering, can you incorporate the armature with an Oasis bouquet holder?
Abel, that's a great question. And it was so great to meet you in the real world. That was so much fun. Take that picture that we took, post it, and make sure and tag me. That way everybody can see you when they look at my feed, so they'll know who you are. But Abel, the answer to that question, can you use it with a bridal bouquet holder? Yes. And as I was looking at the projects from this year where they did the combination, many of them did use a holder and then attached an armature to the holder, and that definitely would be okay. Sometimes they might not give you a holder though, so then you don't know. So like in our classes, when you take them online or in person, we teach you bouquets using the hand tie techniques and several different hand tie techniques, both armatures, spirals, weaves, all of that. Then we teach you holder, both straight handle and slant handle. And we teach you the wired and taped so that you can adapt to whatever technique is asked of you and you don't have to worry. You can manage it without any problem. So now I thought it would just be fun because I love these roses and they might end up going home with me. So I'm not going to cut them off and stick them in foam and make them really short. I wanted to leave them long because I just think they are so pretty. But they would be grand stuck down into the armature that teacher Michelle made. And I'm just clustering them and then feeding them into my hand. And then adjusting their height. Isn't that fun? Okay. Now, would this score well? Maybe not, because where is my focal emphasis? Maybe I need to have more varieties of flowers so that I can create a focal emphasis. Maybe I need a holder so that I can create some line and get some drama going on. Maybe I have to be very careful about the way my stems are placed so that my mechanics are clean and tidy. All those things you have to think about. It's very challenging, which is why when we teach you in flower school that we really stress your mechanics, your elements, your principles, so that when you do decide you want to move on and go further, you've got the base skills that allow you to do that. Because if you don't learn your base skills, you might be able to make pretty, but you can't make fabulous. Getting to fabulous really means you have to know all the rest of the story, all the different techniques, all the different things. So those of you that are in the Flower Lovers Club, if you want to get started earlier, before you take flower school, you want to just start studying, go to the style library and go to the technique library. Those are the two that would be great to start. And then the elements and principles, that's going to be vitally important because that's what they're evaluating. That's what they're looking at. That's what they're checking. Okay? So you want to make sure that you truly know all the story. Now you can see how it's all just coming together. I hold it up from the bottom here so you can see. There we go. Can you kind of see the back there? Does that show how I don't have any leaves below my hand? I'm keeping it neat and tidy. And I've got everything going, weaving through so it's clean. It's not messy. Then I could add a few more roses. I've got a hole on this side. Okay. So we've got just a couple more minutes. If you've got a question, get it asked. If you're thinking about flower school, do it now. Join us. We're ready for you. We've got, I want to say 7 spaces left in the September class, but I'll have to double check that. But I think there's 7 left in the September class if you want to do it in person. If you want to do it online, registration is open right now. You can do that. If you want to join us for the next Tulip Tribe gathering at the Creative Retreat, post on there that you are going to do it and that you need to find a friend to register with, because you can still do private rooms. You don't have to share a room, but if you register with a friend, it's cheaper, it's less expensive. But you may not have a friend that wants to do it right now or can do it. Maybe they can't get away from work or whatever. So get together with your tribe. Make a new friend. And then again, remember that I'm looking for people from my class right now that aren't watching because they're in class, but one's from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and is just looking to find other people in the area to connect with as the tribe. So if you're from there, put it in, because she's going to go back and look through. And then one from Kelowna, British Columbia, was wanting to know if there's anybody from the tribe there. So if you are in either of those places, put it in there. And if you haven't announced who you are yet, do so, because I'm almost done. I'm leaving in like 1 minute. Okay, I'm adding some leaves. Carolyn, David, last question.
Yeah, Marmac had a great question. For their testing, can you leave the wire armature showing, or do you need to conceal it?
If it's a decorative armature, you should leave it showing. And that's part of the beauty of the design. So like this one, I'm gonna leave it showing. Going through and adding some leaves to clean up the back. But I'm going to leave the armature showing from the front. And then I'll just tie it off with a bit of bind wire. There would be something given to you to tie it with. Don't know what it's going to be. If it's a bare wire, make sure you tape it. You don't want bare wire to show. Bind wire, decorative wire, you can leave that to show. There may be a ribbon you could wrap it with, but you'll want to make sure that whatever you do is very polished and finished. Now, if it's a bridal bouquet, I'd want to cover up the bind wire too. I don't think I'd want that to show. I said it could show. I'm like, no, Leanne, that's incorrect. Don't say that. Because if it's a bridal bouquet, you'd want that hidden. You'd want to hide that. So, got that tied off now. Isn't that fun? Just a big old bouquet of roses. Now, today has been fun. We did the formal linear asymmetrical, talked about creative pedaling, did the armature bouquet, talked about testing, did Barbie with her tiny bouquet. You can find that video online. And we talked about partners and the tribe. David, while we're going out, let's put the inductees up real quick. Do one last little shout out to the inductees. Okay.
It's up.
Congratulations to this year's inductees. I was so excited to be able to throw a party for you and to have all of us in Vegas together and celebrate your success. Then David, a quick one of the final night team and Eric and Frank. Let's do a shout out to them one more time. So, you know, guys, I can't wait to post pictures of the gala of the final night so that you can see what Eric and Frank and their team created. That's going to be pretty darn grand. And are they up there? Cool. So then last thing, let's do the July class one more time. And this is my latest group joining the Tulip Tribe, so shout out to the July class. I get to actually go over and teach for a little while on Friday. I'm very excited about that. I got to meet them all yesterday. That was a treat and a half. And then David, bring it back to me. My turn, my turn. Barbie and I. Okay. I'm going to thank you to you, to each and every one of you, for being part of our tribe, because I celebrate you and your successes, because together it's pretty fabulous. Next week, we'll be talking a little bit about the business of floral design, taking a little switcheroo. Yes, I'll be designing. I always have to design because I love my flowers, but we'll be talking a little bit about the business. So if there's somebody that you think needs to have some business advice or has business questions, share this video, let them know. And make sure and invite them to join us next week. But for now, I'm going to say next week as we gather to do something you love.